All right, so if we're going to understand anything in the Bible, it's very important that we see whatever passage we're considering. We need to see it in its context. Now, the context of anything in Scripture, there's a such thing as immediate context, everything surrounding it right where we find it. For example, the Lord's Prayer. It's important to study the Lord's Prayer in the context of the passage immediately surrounding it in Matthew, etc. Now, most preachers, Bible teachers, pastors, etc., will pay great attention to the immediate context if they are expository preachers. That is to say, if they are looking at passages of Scripture and seeking to reveal through their preaching and teaching what the passage itself is actually saying. Now, a great deal of preaching these days is what we call topical preaching. And topical preaching is basically the preacher coming to grips with a particular topic. It might be the new birth. It might be standards in the Christian life. It might be spiritual warfare. It could be any one of thousands of topics that are given rise through the study of the Bible. But if you're going to be studying the Bible in its context, it's important to see what the passages are actually saying and not use them as jumping off points to provide instruction in terms of specific topics like family or work or whatever. Now, if we're going to study the Bible in context, it's important that we study it in its full context. And the way I use that phrase, full context, it simply means that I need to look at the Bible in terms, at any given passage in the Bible, in terms of where it is in Scripture specifically. If it's in the Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, or John, then I need to understand that everything in those books, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, come after everything that God has already revealed from Genesis through Malachi in the Hebrew writings of the Old Testament. And if I don't give any consideration to those Hebrew writings of the Old Testament, I can't understand in full measure what's really being revealed to me in Matthew, Mark, Luke, or John, or really anything else in the New Testament. So if we're going to understand anything in the Bible, it's very important that we see it in its full context. The testament that it's in, old or new, the section of that testament, the particular book that the passage is in, the chapter of the book, the section of the book, etc. All of these things are important when it comes to talking about full context and understanding Scripture.